Morning, everyone. Oh, that's like school. That's nice.
Hey, have you frequented Austin before? Have you been here before?
Never, ever, no.
No, you're kidding me.
No, this
is
it.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
all right.
This is my welcome to Austin.
Well, hey,
you
let's
lovely
get...
people.
There we go. Let's get... Raise your hands, okay, please. 2 suggestions on where he needs to eat before he leaves. Wait, I said raise your hands. Come on, people. Phone instructions. Okay, yell it out.
Your house. What is your specialty? Oh, everything? That's not a specialty. That's just like, you are the specialty. Okay.
All right. Well, he'll be there by 6.
Sure.
Okay, good.
Sure.
All right. Outside of personal homes, is there a place that... Okay, go over here. Yell it out.
Torchy's Tacos.
Torchy's Tacos.
Torchy's Tacos. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Well, Dave, you know, their motto here, if you've heard, is keep it weird, right? And
for Austin? That's Austin's motto? Keep it weird. Wow.
So,
that's a comical motto, I'd have said.
Keep Austin weird. Keep Austin weird.
Keep Austin
very
weird.
Very specific.
Okay.
So, anything that what's your like keep it weird thing for yourself? Is there weird food that you like? Is there a weird movie that you like? What's sort of the weird thing about you that you want to share with the public?
Well, surely by definition, I don't find it weird. So it's hard to be objective about that, isn't it? It's hard to know. I mean, one man's weird is another man's every day, I'd say.
A weird candy sweet? Is there anything like dessert?
Wow. These are questions I should have had in advance. Like a month ago. This needed a lot of research and work. I don't know. What was that? What do I like that's normal? That could get some boring answers. What do I like that's weird? What does my wife think is weird? Oh, that's a whole...
we only have 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, there is, I do like peanut butter on some nice spongy white bread, peanut butter with slices of a smoked salami sausage sunk into it. Come on. You asked for it.
That's interesting.
In a sandwich.
Salami and peanut butter. Oh.
It's not really salami. It's like you must have an equivalent here, but I don't know what you would call it. It's like, in the UK, it comes in a kind of U-shaped sausage.
Summer sausage.
Mattisons make it. Do you have Mattisons out here? No. Summer sausage, I'm being told. I don't know what that is, but let's say it's summer sausage. And it's cold, and you cut it into slices about, you know, like, it's about that big. And you cut it into slices, I'd say about half an inch thick. Maybe a third of an inch. Sink it nice and thick with the peanut butter, and also butter under the peanut butter.
Okay.
Good Lord.
You're weird. Where'd it go?
So you're sinking, so it's double butter. You look quite uncomfortable with this, Tony. Double butter, thick peanut butter, and let that summer sausage, because that's now what it's called, just sink it in. And a nice bit of spongy white, trashy bread on top. Thank you very much. There's a new specialty for you. There you go.
Hey, I was introduced to my first PB&J sandwich in college.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm Asian. We didn't grow up PB&J, so it was like, what is this amazing thing I've never heard of before? PB&J. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Don't put jam with peanut butter. It's like you're killing all the saltiness. I don't like it.
Hey, so when you were, let's go back before we have a lot of questions, a lot of fans here, obviously, of the work that you've done, but before that, when you were a wee lad, were you always kind of like, had your sights set on pursuing entertainment and acting, or was it something that you kind of backed into? Like, what
no, I kind of did, really. I was always pretty determined that that's what I was going to do. That was very much something I was weirdly focused on from an age much younger than I could really have known what that meant, I think. Really have known what it was to be an actor. But I watched shows on TV, and I had a conversation with my parents quite early on about the fact that they were people pretending to be other people, or aliens, or whatever they were pretending to be, and thinking that was a really good idea. So it was about being part of telling stories in that way. That was what got me excited about it.
Yeah. Well, Comic-Con is filled, as you've seen over the years, filled with fans of everything. What were you a fan of when you were younger? Like, what were some of the things that shows that you were a fan of?
Oh, what shows did I? Yeah, I think it's quite common knowledge that I was quite a Doctor Who fan growing up. I was born in '71, so all through the '70s it was a real, it was Doctor Who's sort of first golden era. And I loved it, I lapped it up. It was my Saturday tea time treat. It was something that I got very excited by. So I liked that. There was a UK show called Blake 7, which I just thought was amazing, and that was a bit more grown up. So I felt a little bit sophisticated watching that one. There was a show that I don't think has anyone here seen a show called Into the Labyrinth? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 3 people. Quite an obscure show, even back home. That's quite an obscure show to talk about now, but that was another one that I liked. I loved them all. And then, of course, and I just passed him, Lou Ferrigno. I watched The Incredible Hulk when I was a kid. That was an amazing show. That was very exciting. So, I loved all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that, now I would come to Comic-Con, and now it's like, the geeks have won. I feel very empowered by that.
Of course, for 50 plus years, Doctor Who has literally been one of the, the biggest iconic properties that we've ever seen, and even in this modern era, I mean, it really exploded under your reign, and so
rain. I like that rain. Good. I'm gonna take my shoes off. Can I take my shoes off? Just if it's. I want it. That's better. That's better. Sorry, Austin, but I do have my nice socks on today, so keep it weird. You want to see my socks? What? I thank you. This one too. At least I've got a pair on. I have a problem with socks. I have slightly weird toenails. They grow at a funny angle. I think that's what it is. I've never quite figured it out, but I go through the top bit of socks really quickly. So you're very fortunate not to be seeing a gnarled old toenail poking out the front of this. It's quite rare.
So
you're welcome.
You're going to tease us with that and not show us your toenails?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to show you my toenails, no.
That's too weird.
But that's because they're painted all manner of exotic colours.
Oh, I don't know what my question was. Yes, so was that a role that you pursued early on, or was it something that came
Doctor Who? Doctor Who didn't exist. When I started being an actor, it was, I believe that we now affectionately call it on hiatus, but it had been off the air for a number of years. In fact, it finished when I was at drama school. The first run of Doctor Who finished, so it wasn't really something I could genuinely aspire to. And also by that, I'd sort of grown up and thought, obviously the likelihood that I'll ever end up in that show that I loved as a kid is fairly small, and that's, that was it was a kind of indulgent fantasy rather than an actuality. It wasn't something that I really kind of. And then the show was coming back, and that was exciting. And I had a vague connection to Russell T Davies, so I sort of said, anything. I'd just like be in one episode, just for my 8-year-old self. If I could just be in one episode, just once, that would be. And he was being weirdly reluctant to help me out. Which I tried not to be offended by, and then I think maybe, I don't know, he was maybe thinking ahead. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll have to quiz him one day. But eventually, he asked me to be in a few episodes, so it was all right. It worked out.
Well, besides Doctor Who, changing just the kind of the landscape of of Doctor Who, being the Doctor. How were you changed from the experience, from when you began to when you completed it? How were you, like, you were different?
Well, I had to wear a hat more. It's one of those shows that has such a reach, and people are so enthusiastic for, and that's very lovely to be in the middle of that. But it is quite weird to go from something that you grew up with posters on your wall to then something that you're on the other side of, and that you're the focus of, and that takes a bit of getting used to, and also you have to get used to being, particularly in the UK, although now increasingly around the world, frankly, it's quite ubiquitous, and it's one of those shows that even people who don't watch the show, they know about it, and it's sort of part of the cultural conversation. So you do surrender some anonymity. So I guess that's what changes, and that comes with good and ill attached to it, but mostly lots of good, frankly. I wouldn't change a minute of it, but that does take an adjustment, just how you go to the supermarket and how you sort of get around in life. It's a bit of recalibration.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we go to our questions here, I have got to mention the most terrifying, I think the most terrifying Marvel villain ever is Kilgrave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's including the movies and just your portrayal and how you. It was literally just
sexy.
Sexy and terrifying. Sexy and terrifying.
That's a bold epithet to give to that nutter. I'm glad you said that, not me.
Did you enjoy playing a villain? How was that?
Oh, he's an extraordinary character. The fact that he has this amazing ability, and there's something very kind of intoxicating about just being in a scene and telling people to do things, and they just do it, and you can very quickly understand how that would corrupt anyone. I think living with that inside your head, it's a fascinating character. I think he's a brilliant creation because of that. Because actually, what Melissa Rosenberg, the writer, and her team explored, I think, really brilliantly is the psychology of that and how that would have, what that would do to a human being, to have this thing where you couldn't judge anyone's reaction to you with any sort of credibility, or you would so quickly be deluded into believing that what you thought was right, whether it was or not. I think that's why that character comes alive. It's got very little to do with me. It's to do with the fact that you've got this sort of weird. I think we can all slightly fantasize about having that, slightly worry about it, and imagine what that might be like, and sort of it makes you wonder about yourself and how you would operate under those circumstances. And I think that's some of the great characters do that to us all, I think.
Excellent. So as we go to our audience questions, hey, you get asked questions at the cons all the time.
Yeah.
And so let's just knock out like the ones you get asked all the time. And so do you have a few that consistently get asked? Probably like your favorite episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. People ask people love, and I understand the impulse because I ask it of other people. But you think, what's your favorite this or your favorite that? And I really don't know usually, or I can't admit. I'm not going to choose certain actors over others. I'm not going to, and even choosing episodes feels a bit wrong. Feels a little improper because you think, well, I don't know. Should I have a favourite of all these things that we're all, especially in Doctor Who, because it's not like another show where one episode slightly blends into another because you're always in the bar or the police station or the cafe, so it's one long story. Every episode of Doctor Who is so individual and so unique and had a different cast and a different set of sets and locations. So each one feels like quite a unique experience, and I don't really have favourites really. So and people kind of want you to have, I guess, because people have their own favourites. But I'm sort of more interested in what anyone else's favourite is, really.
The common questions that you get all the time. Will you return as a doctor? You probably get that a lot.
You get that more from, well, I think you get that more from journalists, because they don't really get the show. People here understand how it works.
You're in a cameo in a scene.
Yeah. So journalists go, so when are you going back to Doctor Who? We go, have you watched Doctor Who? You know there's only one of us, right? And it moves on and we're done. Unless it's an anniversary special, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. That's a sidebar. So I don't know. Is the answer to that anyway? Because unless, and even if I had signed up to return for a tranche of 10 episodes, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So I'd have to lie about it. So that's not a question that one can answer.
We were here in Austin. I don't know if anyone in this room was here for the screening of the 50th anniversary episode.
Oh, great!
Yeah, before it was. Is that the same time as is airing live, right? Yeah.
Well, like in the middle of the night here, was it? Or when was it? No. Middle of the day? Of course it'd be early, right? Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, the room was packed full.
Nice!
People went crazy. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So, let's go with our first question over here.
We had a party in our house for that.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. My wife dressed up as Sylvester McCoy.
That's awesome.
If I had the photos, I would show you.
That is so awesome. All right.
It's a little creepy. Have you seen? She looked great. I'll get her to Twitter it or whatever it is she does. I don't know. She does all that. I don't know how it works. MySpace, exactly.
So introduce yourself and let's ask a question.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Hi, Angela. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
Very good. Nice outfit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ready for October?
Yeah.
So I loved all of the work that you've done, theater, film stuff.
Thank
but when I heard that you were going to be on my favorite childhood show, DuckTales, I was super excited.
Right.
So I really loved the, I guess you guys all went to Disneyland earlier this year to do something and
we did.
enjoyed the parade and stuff
Yes.
you did. So I was wondering, what was your favorite thing to do while you were at Disneyland?
Oh, well. As a kid, I never got to go to Disneyland. It felt like some extraordinary faraway fairy tale land that occasionally somebody from my school would go to Disneyland. Or Disney World. I mean, back then I wouldn't have known which was which. And it would be, you thought, what, you went to the faraway land of America? And you went to see Mickey Mouse? It was so exotic and remote and extraordinary that now I'm in the more fortunate position where I have children and I can take them there. We go as much as we possibly can. It's an amazing place and I love it. And being part of DuckTales has afforded us a couple of trips, which has been very, very lovely. I love the rides that are, the madder the better for me. So my favourite one is California Screaming, just because it's a big old proper roller coaster, and I love it. I love it. I also like Toy Story. You know the one where you go, you got the thing and you got to fire all the things and they come out but everyone else in my family seems to be better at it than me, so that annoys me a little bit.
I'm sure you do very well, though.
Well, thank you for believing in me. Thank you.
Come on up.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
First off, I kind of want to thank you, David, because you were my first doctor I ever watched.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thank you. You're so very welcome.
My question is, working on a Day at a Doctor episode, how did it felt working with Matt Smith and I forgot the other actor's name.
And John Hurt.
Yeah. How did it felt?
Well, it's sort of amazing. It was a bit weird because it is, you know, obviously I'd finished the show like 5 years before or whatever it was then, and you don't really think, you sort of do think, well, that's it, and then you kind of have to dust this old suit off and you kind of go back and it's weird because you're going back to something that in some ways is so very familiar but has completely changed and now it's not really your show anymore. That's quite weird and could have been awful, could have been terrible, because you know it would be, you're sort of competing for the same space and you're next to other people playing this character who sort of sucks the energy out of a room. Do you know what I mean? He's quite a polarizing character. He's a sort of magnet to this character, which is thrilling. But if there's two of you both trying to be kind of not knowing how to kind of negotiate each other's kind of space in that, could have been awful. And then I met Matt and we just had a great time. We had a really, really good time. It was really, really good fun. And then John Hurt, who we were both rather in awe of, because, you know, he's John Hurt. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's John Hurt. Extraordinary that he was, you know, so Matt and I, we kind of sort of carried on like two sort of giddy schoolboys, and then we would kind of go, hi, John. So we were sort of thrilled to be kind of having this sort of enjoying this, playing this part together, really, and then thrilled to be in the same room as this legend who turned out to be a hoot. Because again, that could have been awful. He could have been, I mean, he could have been anything. He's John Hurt. He would have every right to be whatever he decided to be. He could have been a total arse. But he was just lovely and thrilled to be there and thought it was great fun and had the most amazing stories of sort of his crazy days in the 60s and the people he'd hung out with and stories that could never be repeated. And was just great fun to sort of be around. So the whole experience was a joy, really, from start to finish. And I'm so glad it was, because it would have been horrible if it had been I'd had such a special time doing the show day to day that to return to it and to not have a similarly joyous experience would have been very sad. But it wasn't. It was everything that I sort of hoped it might be. So it was great. It was lovely. It was a really happy time. And of course Billy was there, and it's always fun to hang out with her. And then I'd never met Jenna before, and she's lovely, and everyone involved. You know, it was a very special thing to be part of.
We have John Hurt in the audience here. We'll just stand up.
John,
Stand up.
how are you?
You look good.
Splendid. Splendid outfit.
Look excellent.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, David.
Morning.
I'm Laura. I'm the one with the...
You've got a McDuck t-shirt on. Nice.
And I'm also the one with the Hulk shoes from yesterday.
Oh, they were great shoes.
Yeah.
Yes. Where'd you get them from?
Vans.
Are they like custom made?
No, they're the Marvel collection. So, in case y'all don't know, it's a Hulk's feet busting out of Vans.
Hulk's,
So,
yeah.
I need a pity right now.
This is not a commercial, but it might be.
No,
it could
might
be.
Hashtag ad. Okay, so my question.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people in the world is Catherine Tate.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And obviously you guys have worked together a lot. Doctor Who, Dr. Donna, you were the Benedict to her Beatrice.
Yes.
Now you guys are antagonistic ducks.
Yes. We don't get to do that one together, unfortunately, though. No, they record it at different times.
Well, can you talk a little about what it's like to work with her, and if you have any future projects together? I heard something on the Vine about possibly being another series of Big Finish audio stories, maybe?
We might be doing that quite soon, yes.
Catherine might have said something.
Did she? She gave it away, did
yes,
she?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, fine, it's not my fault.
Yeah, there you go. You're off the hook.
Yes, we haven't recorded them yet, but it's very imminent.
Yeah.
So, unless something goes very badly wrong, we should be doing that very soon, which is, Catherine's just one of those people I just love hanging out with, and we just laugh a lot, which can probably get quite irritating for those in control of some of the productions, but she just makes me laugh, and she's very talented, and working with talented people makes you better because it makes you sort of up your game, but yeah, she's one of my favourite people too. I hope that I know we'll always know each other. I hope we'll always get to work together, and it's one of the joys of this job that you get. You pick up people along the way who become great friends, and who it's always great to have a sort of ongoing working relationship with, if you can manage that. So yes to all the things you said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
You're getting strangely recorded at every question.
I know. How can I help you, Lisa? Have you seen my socks?
Yes, that was me. You been working out? Now I forgot my question. Oh, right. Okay. So I saw you in Dallas last year.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, have you now in the past year had occasion to visit Target?
Yes, actually.
Oh!
I was in Target not very long ago. Yeah. It's quite difficult
than
taking
Walmart?
kids to Target. There's a lot of stuff they want to buy.
It's adults too.
Right. This is the Walmart Target conversation, isn't it?
It is. Did you like it better, like everyone was saying you would?
Well, it's a different thing, right? It's a different store. They have different... I don't want to come down on the side of one or the other. I feel like it would be undiplomatic. But Target is...
Yes.
Target, you're speaking
I'm like a local.
Target.
It's a fine store with many great things in it. But you know, I also have uses for Walmart, and I don't want to exclude one from my. Should I be excluding one? Is Target definitely winning here?
When most of us die, we want to go to Target.
Have we got any Walmart fans?
I like them both.
Yeah, like 5 people. Okay. Is that because you work for them?
They work there, yeah.
They have exotic food in Walmart? Pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls year round. Well, if that's what does it for you.
It's the same roll year round.
There's only one.
Just year round.
Nobody ever buys it. It's just still sitting there. They pass it round Walmart. It's in a little plexiglass container. You can look at it, but you can't lick it.
Thank you, David.
Hey, David.
Good morning. Hi, Whitney. Sure. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
So I'm just wondering, are you a fan? And if so, what's your Hogwarts house?
Is there like an actual way of working that out? Is there? Because people ask me that all the time, and I feel like I should have a stronger answer.
You have to take the quiz on Pottermore.
I have to do what?
Take the quiz on Pottermore.
There's a website that you can answer questions.
Oh, I see. Well, surely though, because I was Barty Crouch Jr., surely I'm Slytherin all the way, right? Aren't I? However, had I not been Barty Crouch Jr., I'd be really annoyed if I was Slytherin, because that's like where the bad guys live, right?
Not every bad guy.
No? Can you be a good guy and still be in Slytherin?
Yes.
Really? Are you sure? I don't think I'd trust anyone who was in Slytherin.
Merlin!
Be honest with you. Would you... What? Snape was a good guy.
Merlin!
Yeah, okay. Who was? Was he? Is that from the play?
Also Merlin.
Right.
Merlin was a Slytherin.
Merlin? What, Merlin from King Arthur?
Yeah.
It's canon.
What about Gandalf? What was he in?
Gryffindor.
He was Gryffindor, obviously. Sure. I think you're making it up now.
Han Solo's Slytherin as well.
Han Solo, yeah, he is, yeah, he would be.
Scoundrels, all scoundrels.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've never done the Pottermore website thing, so clearly I need to do that to really find out. Is that anything more than a random internet generator? No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. It's based on science, right? Good. Well, I'll look it up and I'll tell you, but I'm sure I'm Slytherin.
Thank you.
That's what I reckon.
All right.
Hi.
Look at this one.
That's a great outfit.
Thank you.
Who are you in that outfit?
Shane Husky's kind of my own original character from Doctor Who.
Oh, right. There's an old Peter Davison episode with a monster that looks like that, called the Garm. That's showing my credentials now. Thank you.
You finally legitimized yourself.
Yeah.
As a fan.
Yes, thank you.
Well
I
done.
don't know my Potter house, but I know about the Garm.
Oh, Okay, after I knew you were in Star Wars Cloners, and are you aware that Matt Smith was recently cast for Episode 9?
Well, I was aware, but I can't tell you any more than that.
I know. But what was it like working on Clone Wars?
Well, do you know what? It was quite brief, to be honest. I was in London. They were in, I think, LA or maybe New York or maybe on the Skywalker Ranch. I don't even know where they were. There was people talking to me down my headphones, and they were very lovely. And we recorded the script, and then that was the last I knew of it, really, until I saw the finished product. It's a lovely thing to be part of, and it's sort of a couple of hours spent in a London studio has followed me for many a year, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Yeah.
And were you also aware that Tom Baker was in Rebels?
Was he? What did he play?
He played the Bendu.
Right.
Yeah.
What Harry Potter house was that in?
The Bendu is kind of like a creature that both controls the light and the dark.
Right, so probably Hufflepuff. Right. Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
You know what's so awesome about Doctor Who is it's multi-generational, and it spans from old, young, everything between, and so we have a couple of young Doctor Who fans, and so come on up, ask a question.
2 Doctors at once. It's like the Day of the Doctor's being reenacted in front of us. Look at that.
So,
Can you
grab? Yeah, just you can pull it off.
I'm fine.
You're fine, you're all over it.
Okay, so my name's Gavin, and
Hi,
I've
Gavin.
had your hairstyle actually for 3 years now.
Wow, it looks great, Gavin. You're rocking it better than I am today, without a doubt.
Yeah, so... Well, you know how there's always been bad guys in Doctor Who? Well, which one do you think is the most, like, evil and creepy out of all of them?
The most evil of all the evils. I don't know, the angels are just following, they're just doing what they need to do to survive. You know, they're just existing. The most evil, it would be someone who chooses to be evil, wouldn't it? It would be someone who it's not just a creature who's doing whatever they need to do to get by in the universe, to survive. It would have to be someone who has made a very conscious decision. Agatha Christie is a very good answer. It's not the one I would plump for, but it's a controversial choice. So yeah, who would it be? Who do you think's the most evil, Gavin?
Probably the Weeping Angels, and they're
You
all
think
very creepy.
there's one over there is coming to get you? Just if amongst us we could all keep just one eye on that at every. Because if the whole blinking thing, if you swap, you can get away with it. You see, you do that, then you don't need to blink. I didn't want to point that out to Stephen Moffat. I might just break the show if I did that. But yeah, so there's a Weeping Angel, but it would probably be someone like, I mean, the Master's quite hard to get by, just because he sets out to be unpleasant. I was going to say a terrible word there. He sets out to be unpleasant, doesn't he? He makes choices to be unpleasant, and he's good at it, or she's good at it. So I think that's kind of hard to get past the Master, I'd say.
Thank you.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, come see my brother now.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. There it is.
You're going to get help with this microphone. Thank you.
They're getting smaller. I think the questions are getting smaller.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Sterling.
Sterling, hi. Nice fez.
Thank you. I've always been a fan of Doctor Who. I just want to know if you were friends with the other doctors.
Lovely question, Sterling. I mean, I think I've met all of them now, and I know them all to varying degrees. I know Matt quite well. I know Peter, who's here somewhere, quite well. There's another Peter who I ended up related to. So they're probably the ones I know best, but I know all the doctors a little bit, and I have to say they're all rather splendid. It's a very lovely group to be part of. It's a very it's a small group, but we're expanding.
Yeah.
We're very thrilled to have opened the membership out to female members of our club. It's no longer a gentleman's club, which I think is long overdue. And it's quite a unique show to be. It's quite a unique part to get. And I think we all feel very privileged to have been part of it. And it's nice to have some people you can share that particular experience with. They're all great. I like them all. Yes, and the new doctor is also a friend of mine, and I can't wait for everyone to see what she does. It's very, very exciting.
Hello, David.
Good morning.
I'm Veronica. I'm from Guernsey in the Channel Islands.
Oh, well, you've come far.
I have, although I do live in Cedar Park.
Okay. That's quite close, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I was wondering who made the decision for you to lose your beautiful Scottish accent and speak with a posh English accent instead.
Well, it wasn't really a posh English accent. It was a sort of Mockney accent, really. It was very much... I'd just been doing Casanova with Russell T Davies. Although I didn't know it at the time, that was sort of my audition piece for Doctor Who. And I think... although I don't want to put words in Russell's mouth, but I think he was sort of, there was a lot of the elements of that he kind of saw going forward as the Doctor. So it was always how he wrote it and how he imagined it in his head, and therefore it was just sort of, it was never a big sort of heavy-handed thing. I never argued the case. I never sort of campaigned to not do it like that. I just thought, well, he's obviously got this voice in his head that he can hear, and it was how I'd been doing Casanova for him just before, so it was a sort of progression of that, really. And I don't think it was anything that we ever tussled with particularly. Of course, it makes perfect sense that the Doctor then, 2 regenerations on, had a very broad Scottish accent and was rather wonderful. Maybe I missed an opportunity there, but it was. Yeah, it was always just what we were going to do, and it was never. It was kind of you accepted it quite early on that that's what we were looking at, and then there was a whole thing about it being he was sort of imprinting on Rose, and that was sort of the hatchling from an egg. There was that kind of idea. In fact, there was a scene about that in the Christmas Invasion that got cut. There were all sorts of reasons, and yeah, it was just sort of where we ended up. But I guess it was Russell's intention, yeah.
Right, thank you. Now meet my daughter.
Oh, like the family traits we're having in
David,
the question
with a few minutes left, you think we can speed round it? We can speed round it.
Sure.
There you go. Okay, so quick questions.
Oh,
thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm afraid my question might not be.
It's really long.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Katie. I'm her daughter.
Hi.
So, all of time and space, where would you go? You have to not break the timeline.
I would go 2 places. I'd go. I'll try and be quick. I would either go to the Globe and see like the first performance of Hamlet, or I'd go to the Cavern Club and see the Beatles before anyone knew. Before anyone knew they were the Beatles. Yeah, and I'd sign them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, speed round. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, David. My name is Ryan. Thank you for coming to Austin, Texas.
My
Love to have
pleasure.
you here.
Thank
By the
you.
way, the accent question was great. My wife, in particular, loves your Broadchurch accent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So my question for you is, Doctor Who is also known for sometimes it's not so great, but more recently it's fantastic props and special effects. Do you have one in particular that you like the most?
Oh well, you've got to love the sonic screwdriver, haven't you? But I love the TARDIS. I also developed a fondness for my stethoscope. Because we sort of discovered it by accident one day on set, and then would try and sort of dribble it in to scenes here and there. So it was never in the script. I think then Russell wrote it in once, I think, and I sort of So I was quite glad that we kind of arrived by accident. I always had a fondness for that.
Well, you are a doctor, so that's fitting.
Exactly, that was it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on up.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
So my question is, between all the villains that you've done, like Brendan Block, Kilgrave,
Yeah.
Mikhail Erendreich, what sort of mentality did you get into to become those characters?
Well, each one's different, and each one has their own motivations for doing what they do, and you try and find what that is so you can be as truthful as you can be. Because if anything that's got a sort of psychological kind of backup to it makes more sense and is therefore more terrifying, is the sort of objective logic. But in the subjective terms, as the character, you're just doing what that character needs to do to be who they are, and that's just about being truthful. And that's what acting is always about, really.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying to be fast. I'm not being very well. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Aubrey.
Hi, Aubrey.
This is Bailey, but she says she doesn't want to ask a question.
You don't have to, Bailey. You just hang out. It's cool.
She just wanted to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
Quickly before I ask my question, could you just reassure me that also in your mind, Rose and the Metacrisis doctor got like married or something?
I can't do that for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they're both raging alcoholics. They live in a hostel now. They don't speak to each other.
Terrible.
It ended very badly. It's very sad.
They're lost wandering in Walmart.
But I do, yeah.
So my real question is, I heard you recently on a podcast where you said that one of your favorite pastimes when you come to America is to binge the American version of The Office.
Oh, yeah.
So I was wondering if you could take along, or if the 10th Doctor took along any person from The Office, who would make the best companion?
For the 10th Doctor?
For the 10th Doctor.
Oh, goodness me.
Good question.
I mean, they're mostly fairly dysfunctional, aren't they? It's a very good question. I suppose I could slightly cheat and just say Catherine Tate, couldn't I? I could slightly cheat. Although her character in The Office is not probably who you'd want to hang out with for very long.
I'm sure Dwight would want to be the assistant doctor.
Dwight would, but I don't think Dwight and the 10th Doctor would get on too well. Oh God, I suppose it would be Pam or Jim, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe together. They could be like that would be nice.
They'd be
Have
like
Pam and Jim.
Yeah, they'd be like your Rory and Amy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would work. I'll take them. I want them to be my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Ainsley.
Hi, Ainsley.
I was just wondering, when you're an actor and you have a character, you add things to the character that like aren't necessarily in the script, and it's normally just like in your head unless like you improv something.
Yeah.
What's something you added to like the 10th Doctor that's like your favorite, I guess? I don't know.
His shoes was an early one that nobody wanted me to have. Everyone thought, well, that's a terrible idea. Don't have those shoes. And I had these ancient old pair of Converse that were falling apart, literally falling off my feet. And I thought that he should have a really old, battered pair of Converse trainers that he would wear with a suit. Louise Page, who's brilliant and was an amazing costume designer and did amazing things, she didn't like it at all. She was like, but I've discovered these wonderful Greek boots and this something with a thing and a schwift and a hifte. And I'm like, no, I really want to wear these rubbishy old shoes, and I'm really glad I did. So I don't know. That was it's hard. It's hard with time plays tricks on you as to who came up with what, really. I just said I came up with a stethoscope. I don't know that I did, but things like that. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember. I'll take credit for it. So all those sort of things. It get lost in the mist of time as to what was what, and also it's hard to sort of separate out what was your kind of. What just happened by accident and what was a sort of conscious decision on the day. I don't know. It's hard to unpick, because the truth is, making a show like that is such a collective effort, and ideas come from all sorts of places, and a director could give you something one day that leads to another idea that you can't really therefore claim credit for, but all these years later in a convention hall in Austin, I can say it was all my idea. Every single thing, and nobody else. The rest of them are useless, frankly. And without me, that show would have been nothing. So as long as we've established that, we can all move on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Only have a couple minutes left.
Okay.
So let's get through. We have little ones. Little ones.
Come on. I'm going to stand up to see you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Lily.
Hi, Lily. Okay.
Hello, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie.
What was that?
Hello, sweetie.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you just doing heavy breathing?
Yeah.
I am your father. I'm not, Lily. Don't. I don't think.
I love you.
I love you too, Lily. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Hi,
Hi,
my name's Caleb.
Kayla.
I'm her sister.
Great.
Brother, maybe brother.
Older. I have a question.
Sure.
Can you come back to Doctor Who? I really miss you.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's very kind. I mean, I don't know if I can. It will. I mean, probably not full time, certainly. But I think once you see the new Doctor, you'll fall in love with the new Doctor.
Oh, and apparently, like 3 more things. Number 1,
Okay.
it's 2 minutes past 5. Oh!
Brilliant.
Number 2, don't blink.
Don't blink.
Number 3, stay cool.
Always. Thank you.
Again, from Caleb Swat Camera 20K, peace out.
Peace out. Yes.
Well, I think it's a great way to end the panel. Dave, is there anything that we can look forward to that you can share with us that we can look forward to seeing you in?
What am I going to do next? I've got a show coming on HBO called Camping in a couple of weeks. Look out for that. It's my least sexy role ever. What else? And then Good Omens next year, which is in Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett.